This concept of the power that made the body heals the body is the central concept of holistic health. And it gets close to the big picture idea, big picture medicine. And the big picture is that someplace inside of each of us is a organic biological intelligence that knows how to grow your body out of two cells, differentiate the tissues into everything you are, and manage it and run it and coordinate it and synchronize it and send signals out to rebuild body tissues, healing you on a million levels every minute of every day, holding the system together. Someplace down in there is the consciousness that knows how to not only read that blueprint, but to design the blueprint itself. Someone in the deepest part and the deepest region of your soul designed the entire universe and everything in it, and designed the self-organizing principles of life that takes component parts and builds them into things that are living and grow, and designed the DNA structure of the blueprint of a perfectly functioning body. And that part is deep down inside of you and me and everyone. It's the self-organizing principle that is constantly holding it together and rebuilding it and balancing it and coordinating and synchronizing the whole works so that I can be alive and thriving and healthy. That's the master healing principle, the highest holistic idea of all. That when I'm sick and when I'm ill, it's not a big mystery. It's not that this illness has arrived from Venus and has landed on my body, and we have to use heroic means to kill it with special drugs and medications and surgeries. It arises within me. It's an imbalance, a functional imbalance within me, because for some reason, the self-organizing healing principle within me is being blocked from doing its work. As I said before, I mean, this magic act of I cut myself with a knife and this magic thing starts to happen. The blood stops by itself. It heals up by itself, forms a scab. The scab drops off. I've got a little white line there for the rest of my life. But what the heck just happened there? Some self-organizing principle was in charge of that thing that just happened. And the essence of that self-healing and self-restoring principle is the guiding big mind principle that designed this body and is governing in it right now, this very second, on a million different levels of healing, of all kinds of things, and all kinds of self-organizing and synchronizing, and that thing is going on all the time. So if I'm getting sick and I've got all kinds of symptoms, then it's not doing that job for some reason. You know, if I cut myself and it didn't stop bleeding, what the heck? Why isn't it doing its thing, right? Or that's essentially the same question of why I'm sick. How come it's not doing its thing? This thing that it just kind of does under the hood that I don't have to think about. When it's not doing that anymore, all of a sudden I notice that something's happening. And the underlying principle is that something is blocking that thing. This is the essence of the holistic idea, that the symptoms are there to gain our attention, to dig deeper into the system to find out why those symptoms would be there. Symptom itself, where it's popping up in your body, doesn't necessarily have to do with the cause of what made that symptom pop up at some point.